There are two moments I love. The moment when I say, you need to get your degree, and I see deer in the headlights, scared, how am I going to do that? And then I love that moment when they come and tell me they've graduated and how much they didn't want to do that and how valuable it was for them. I'm Gene Pelham, President and CEO of Road Credit Union. We work to develop talent internally. Being in Southern Oregon, we can either hire people from out of the area or we can help our own people grow. And the great thing about the Innovation and Leadership Program is that we get to develop the very best and brightest from here and give them the opportunity to grow with the organization. When people are learning, they're actually more productive, even if they have schoolwork and they have family life and they have work. All of that together, when they're learning, their mind works so much better. We encourage folks to learn at Road Credit Union. We encourage them to be curious. And the Innovation and Leadership Program is like the absolute perfect opportunity for someone that needs to enhance their skills and an organization that still needs them to be fully productive and capable at the same time.
Welcome, everyone, to Medford, Oregon. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships third place game live on TableRockSports.net, presented by Baseball Northwest, the City of Medford, TravelMedford.org, Lithia Auto Superstores, and Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon. Generally a good idea to decipher the coach's chicken scratch before the broadcast starts. So Josh Baldwin is batting 8th. Seth Miner is batting 9th. And then Joe Schwartz is batting 10th. Here's a look at Washington Southwest. Getting in some practice swings before this game gets underway. And the first pitch is underway. Outside, ball 1 to Joe Weissenfels. Foul back. Oh, a hot shot. A fan there tried to make a play on the ball with his bare hands and hit the grass. Took a tumble, but he's okay. Big smile on his face. 1-1, misses low, ball 2. In there for strike 2. In the dirt. Count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Joe Weissenfels. Weissenfels, 5'11", 170 pounds, out of Richland. To the shortstop. Hogan is there, across the diamond in time, 1 away. Nobody on for Isaiah McFall. McFall looking at strike 1. Standing in at 6'2", 183 pounds, out of Rogers. Committed to Tacoma in the fall. Ground ball right side off the glove of the first baseman Carson Burke. Schwartzmiller, the second baseman, tried to back up the play unsuccessfully. And McFall will reach on an error. Stepping in now is Kyle Mamarian. Comes up empty, swinging, strike 1. Mamarian, 6 foot, 170 pounds, out of Skyview. Ground ball, left side, Jonas Schull, the third baseman, goes to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Washington Northwest able to get the lead runner. Mamarian replaces McFall at first base. 2 outs for Vicente Feliciano. Left-handed batter takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Feliciano is 6 foot, 170 pounds, attends Auburn Mountain View. The 0-1 from Ethan Cox is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Vincent Feliciano. Outside, ball 2. on the outside corner for strike two. Payoff pitch coming to Vincente Feliciano. Ground ball to the second baseman. Schwartzmiller on to first to retire the side. No runs, no hits, one error, one left on base. To the bottom of the first we go, no score. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships third place game on TableRockSports.net.
You're a coach or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, Goliath! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships third place game on TableRockSports.net, presented by Baseball Northwest. Washington Southwest takes the field. And warming up on the mound is Carter Gaston. Gaston, 6'2", 180 pounds, out of Kelso. He'll face off against the top of Washington Northwest order: Carson Burns, Jonah Shull, and Dylan Schwartzmiller, the three to lead it off for Washington Northwest. Stepping in is Carson Burns. Burns, 6'1", 170 pounds, attends Henry M. Jackson. First pitch from Gaston. A flare into shallow right field. It'll get down. A leadoff single for Carson Burns. That will bring up Jonah Shull. The defense behind Carter Gaston: in third, Kyle Mamarian. At short is Carson Hayes. At second, Seth Miner. And at first is Casey Struckmeyer. In the outfield for Washington Southwest, in left is Keaton Fisher. In center, Isaiah McFall. And in right is Joe Weissenfels. Joe Schutz is behind home plate. Jonah Shull takes outside, ball one. Shull, 6 foot, 185 pounds, from Bothell. Shull takes low and away, ball two. Waiting on deck is Dylan Schwartzmiller. We'll give you the rest of the batting lineup in just a second. Swing and a miss for strike one. After Schwartzmiller is Carson Burke, then Eric Dotzauer, Gage Bruce, Maxwell Patterson, Caden Wotipka, Tyler Hogan, Chris Woodside, Bryce Johnson, and Jack Fenton, the batting order for Washington Northwest. The 2-1 to Jonah Shull. Instead of pickoff throw to first, Carson Burns dives back in safely. Gaston comes set. 2-1. Strike two. The 2-2 outside. That will run the count full. The leadoff man, Carson Burns, singled on the very first pitch he saw. And now Jonah Shull going the distance. Carter Gaston is set. He looks at first, now kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Up now comes Dylan Schwartzmiller. Schwartzmiller, 6 foot, 175 pounds, from Snohomish. Burns back safely at first. Schwartzmiller comes up empty. Strike 1. Can't lay off the high heat. No balls and 2 strikes on Dylan Schwartzmiller. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carter Gaston. He retires Schwartzmiller on 3 pitches. And now Carson Burke will climb in. Scorekeeper's correction. The second batter of this inning was Dylan Schwartzmiller. Eric Dotzauer was just at the plate, retired on 3 pitches. Gage Bruce is now at the plate. Jonah Shull and Carson Burke will be the 11th and 12th batters in the Washington Northwest lineup. So again, Carson Burns, the leadoff single. Dylan Schwartzmiller batting second, ran the count full before being struck out. Eric Dotzauer retired on 3 pitches, and now Gage Bruce at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Gaston fires. Ground ball to the second baseman. Charging is Minor. On the run, the throw to first in time to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. To the second we go. No score from Harry and David Field. More from the 2021 Northwest Championships when we come back on TableRockSports.net.
Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up with over 200 new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from one of our largest inventories ever of new Jeep Cherokee 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3-peat truck of the year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. You'll find the new vehicle you want at the low price you deserve. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
The 2021 Northwest Championships are brought to you in part by Lithia Auto Superstores. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. No score, top of the second inning. Ethan Cox back on the rubber for Washington Northwest. He will face off against Casey Struckmeyer, Keaton Fisher, and Carson Hayes. Pitch outside, 1-0 the count. Foul tipped, 1-1 the count. Cox kicks and fires and misses low and inside. Hitters count for Struckmeyer. And that catches the inside corner, strike 2. Struckmeyer, 6 foot, 175 pounds, out of Columbia River. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped up, left side, foul territory. Jonah Shull waits for it and makes the grab near the line for out number 1. Up now is Keaton Fisher. Fisher, 6'5", 205 pounds, from Kalama. And he takes a strike on the upper part of the zone. Breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Keaton Fisher. Low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. A line drive base hit into center field. Washington Southwest gets their first base hit of the contest. It belongs to Keaton Fisher. 1 on and 1 out for Carson Hayes. Hayes standing in at 5'8", 155 pounds on the scale. Attending Graham Kapowson. And he fouls the first pitch off. Strike 1. Hayes committed to Lower Columbia College. Fastball on the upper inside corner. Cox ahead in the count, 0-2. Fisher at first. Cox set on the mound. Check swing, no swing. The 1-2. Fouled back. Chased. Swung on and missed. The throw goes to second base. On the loose pitch, the loose ball, wild pitch. Keaton Fisher takes second. Carson Hayes is retired on strikes. 2 away for Josh Baldwin. So Fisher into scoring position on the wild pitch. Up now is Josh Baldwin. And he takes strike 1. Baldwin, 5'11", 170-pound catcher from Battleground, Washington. Line drive, short hopped, throw to first, wide by Tyler Hogan, the Northwest shortstop. A base hit awarded to Carson Hayes. Runners, correction, there'll be an error charged to Hogan. Baldwin takes strike 1. Fisher at third. Hayes at first. Cox drops in strike 2. Josh Baldwin at the plate. No correction. Keaton Fisher is at third. Josh Baldwin is at first. Seth Miner in the batter's box for Washington Southwest. And he chases for strike 3. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base. No score after 1.5 innings. To the bottom of the second we go from Harry and David Field.
Seen a new way to achieve the highest level of savings. Peak Rewards. The Peak Rewards app is your roadmap to savings wherever your journey takes you. Simply by using our mobile app, you can shop for a mountain of savings in any of our convenience stores and fuel up for less. Just download the Peak Rewards app, register, find participating stations and stores near you, and start saving. With Peak Rewards, you can travel further for less. So what are you waiting for? Download Peak Rewards today and find a location near you.
Because on the wild pitch, the runner from first took off. I think that's because there's a runner on first. Yeah. Technically, the drop third strike, that runner is out before the runner at first takes off. So let me ask you this, Beach. If the runner at first attempts to steal second, and it's a drop third strike, has the runner at first vacated and then thus allowing the batter to run to first base? Yeah, 2 on that one. I don't know. Nice stuff, Beach. Welcome back to Harry and David Field. No score between Washington Northwest and Washington Southwest. The third place game live on TableRockSports.net. Carter Gaston back on the mound, and the first pitch to Maxwell Patterson misses low for ball 1. Patterson, a healthy cut. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's fouled back for strike 2. According to the scorecard, Washington Northwest is not going to play a second baseman in the third inning. So how do we? Outside, ball 2. the dirt. That'll run the count full to Maxwell Patterson. Patterson, 6'1", 180 pounds, out of Bothell, committed to Everett in the fall. And that's outside, ball 4. So Patterson, the leadoff walk, and that will bring up Caden Wotipka. Wotipka, 6'4", 230 pounds from Kamiak. The runner at first will take off. And Patterson steals second. No 1-1 the count to Wotipka. Up and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Down the right field line and foul. Wotipka waits on the 1-2 offering from Carter Gaston. Fouled back. Maxwell Patterson, the leadoff walk, then stole second base. Takes his lead. The 1-2. Jam shot that will get down into shallow center field. Patterson to third. Runners at the corners. Nobody out for Washington Northwest. Tyler Hogan will climb into the box.
You can pan out to get the whole diamond. Well, that makes it easier.
Hogan, 6'2", 175 pounds, from Monroe. And he takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Runner at first takes off. The throw to second base is high, and that will allow the runner at third, Max Patterson, to score. Washington Northwest strikes first. 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Wotipka in safely at second base with the steal. Tapped foul. One ball and 2 strikes on Tyler Hogan. Chased, strike 3. Gaston records the strikeout. And up comes Chris Woodside. Woodside, 6'1", 195-pound catcher from Woodinville. Caden Wotipka takes his lead from second base. Woodside watches a pitch low and outside, ball 1. And then Gaston paints that corner with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Woodside. Two and 1. Runner on second, 1 out, already 1 run home. And it hits Woodside. The runner, Wotipka, was running on the pitch, but because the batter got hit, he'll have to go back to second base. So Woodside aboard, 2 on and 1 out for Bryce Johnson. Johnson, 6'2", 190 pounds, from Meridian, committed to Yakima Valley. Gaston nibbles the edge for strike 1. Swing and a miss by Johnson for strike 2. And time called by the hitter, Bryce Johnson. Like something caught into his eye. Wotipka at second, Woodside at first, and yeah, it hit the bat of Bryce Johnson right on the hands. So the count remains 0-2. Johnson will stay in there. Gaston looks back at second, now comes home. Breaking ball, low and away. The 1-2 to the second baseman. Minor goes to second for 1, and a nice play by Carson Hayes going over the runner to first, and they turn the double play. 1 run comes home, 1 hit, 2 left on base. To the top of the third we go, 1-0 Washington Northwest. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships Class of 2022 third place game live on TableRockSports.net.
Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All U.S. Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships presented by Baseball Northwest. It's the class of 2022 third place game from Harry and David Field. This game is brought to you in part by Travel Medford. Visit travelmedford.org for all of the tips, information, and inside scoop on what you need to know before visiting the Rogue Valley. Getting to learn all of the amazing things that this area has to offer. Ethan Cox back on the mound for Washington Northwest. He will face off against Joe Schutz. And then at the top of the order, Joe Weissenfels and Isaiah McFall. Schutz takes on the lower outside corner for strike one. Defensive changes for Washington Northwest. We'll just give you the whole diamond here in a moment. And this is inside, ball one. Jonah Shull remains at third. Carson Burns is now at shortstop. Dylan Schwartzmiller remains at second base. Caden Wotipka is now at first. One hop to Schwartzmiller. Easy toss to first, one away. In the outfield now for Washington Northwest, in left is Bryce Johnson. In center is Gage Bruce, and in right is Maxwell Patterson. Rounding out, we head to the top of the order for Washington Southwest. Joe Weissenfels steps in. And he watches a pitch just high and outside, ball one. Low and away for ball two. Cox quickly behind in the count to Joe Weissenfels. 3 balls, no strikes. Weissenfeld showed bunt, pulled back, and the breaking ball catches the lower half of the zone for strike one. Cox kicks and fires. And is able to battle back and run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cox getting the sign from his catcher, Dotzauer. And the fastball is fouled off and out of play off the first base side. The ball actually struck the light pole, one of the outfield light poles. Don't see that too often. Another 3-2 to Joe Weissenfels. Scooped up by the first baseman Wotipka, and he will beat Weissenfels to the bag. 2 away. Up now is Isaiah McFall. McFall takes low and away, ball one. Popped foul, left side. Looking forward is Jonah Shull, and can't make the grab near the foul line fence. One ball and 1 strike on Isaiah McFall. Fouled back, strike 2. Ethan Cox thought that was strike 3. The home plate umpire disagrees. 2-2 now to McFall. Shot to left, and a short hop stop by Bryce Johnson, the left fielder. A 2-out single for Isaiah McFall to keep the inning alive. That's a do-or-die play by Bryce Johnson in left. That ball gets by him, and McFall is looking at extra bases. Kyle Mamarian is at the plate now, and he takes high for ball 1. Runner takes off. The throw to second. Well, the throw was to second base, not really to a defender. Schwartzmiller able to knock the ball down before it sailed into the outfield. McFall in safely at second base with the steal. Ground ball foul down the left field line. 2-1. Three balls and one strike to Kyle Mamarian. That misses, ball 4. So a 2-out rally for Washington Southwest. 2 aboard for Vicente Feliciano. Parker Gwynn, the coach for Washington Northwest, comes out to have a conversation with his battery. Feliciano takes strike 1. And is quickly behind in the count, strike 2. The dirt stopped by Dotzauer. One ball and 2 strikes to Vicente Feliciano. Runners at first and second for Washington Southwest. Grounded foul down the third base line. Feliciano fights it off to stay alive. That is strike 3. So Washington Southwest puts 2 on, but leaves them stranded. To the bottom of the third we go, 1-0 Washington Northwest from Harry and David Field.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
The 2021 Northwest Championships are brought to you in part by Lithia Auto Superstore. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. 1-0 to the bottom of the third inning. Washington Northwest with a 1-0 lead over Washington Southwest. A new pitcher on the mound for Washington Southwest. Braden Getch is on in relief. Getch standing in at 5'11", 155 pounds from Battleground. Faces off against Jack Fenton, who takes outside, ball 1. Healthy cut on the 1-1 pitch. He's behind 1-2. Getch kicks and fires and misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tapped in the air, just out of reach, foul. Casey Struckmeyer was giving chase. Count will remain 2-2. Popped up, left side. And it'll be the left fielder, Keaton Fisher. Makes the play for out number 1. Top of the order, excuse me, Jonah Shull is now up next. Swings through the 1-0 offering to even the count. Two balls and 1 strike to Jonah Shull. Low and away, ball 3. And Shull will take the one-out walk. Carson Burke at the plate now. Ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. Comes up empty that time. Count moves to 1-1. And strike 2. Burke at the plate, Jonah Shull at first. Braden Getch looks in. And now we'll look the runner back to first. That is strike 3. 2 down in the bottom of the third. The lineup turns over and up comes Carson Burns. Throw down to first. Shull back safely. Left side, scooped up by Seth Miner. Soft toss to first to retire the side. To the fourth we go. 1-0 Washington Northwest. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net. The 2021 Northwest Championships are brought to you by Baseball Northwest and U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou. With 7 convenient locations to serve you, U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, proud presenting sponsor of Table Rock Sports. 1 run between the two teams through 3 innings. A new pitcher on the mound for Washington Northwest. That is number 11, Jack Fenton. Fenton, 5'11", 177 pounds, from Kamiak. Casey Struckmeyer, Keaton Fisher, and Carson Hayes, the 3 due up for Washington Southwest. The 1-0 offering from Fenton is grounded foul, strike 1. That is behind the batter, Struckmeyer. Ducks out of the way. 2 and 1 the count. The 3-1. Strike 2. A little flare in the infield. Caught in foul territory by the catcher, Chris Woodside, for out number 1. Stepping in now is Keaton Fisher. The 1-0. Outside. Ball 2. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Fouled straight back, strike 2. Fenton misses and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Keaton Fisher. Payoff is low, ball 4. A 1-out walk to Fisher will bring up Carson Hayes. Bunt laid down by Hayes. It's popped up. Oh, and caught by the pitcher, Jack Fenton, who then tried to make a quick throw to first base. It sailed into right. Fortunately, Maxwell Patterson was there to back up the play. So a pop out to the pitcher on the bunt attempt by Carson Hayes. Keaton Fisher remains at first base, and up comes Josh Baldwin. The runner takes off. Pitch swung through. The throw down to second. Not in time. Keaton Fisher steals a base. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Baldwin. And the 3-1 to Baldwin is low, ball 4. Stepping in now is Seth Miner. And he takes ball one. Keaton Fisher at second. Josh Baldwin is at first for Washington Southwest. 1-1 fouled back, strike two. This is in the dirt. Ball two. The deuce is wild in the top of the fourth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. Swing and a miss, strike three. So Washington Southwest leaves a couple more stranded. We head to the home half of the fourth inning, 1-0 Washington Northwest. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net.
As the president of Southern Oregon University, I want you to know that you are welcome here on our lovely campus.
Hi, my name is Marjorie Trueblood Gamble, and I'm the Director of Diversity and Inclusion here at Southern Oregon University. We want you to know you are welcome here.
I'm Susan Walsh, Provost at Southern Oregon University, and you are welcome here.
Du bist hier willkommen. You are welcome here.
여기서
Tu és bem-vindo aqui.
SOU 欢迎你 तपाईँहरूलाई यहाँ स्वागत छ
You are welcome here.
أنتم مرحبون هنا
欢迎来到美国南俄勒冈州立大学
ยินดีต้อนรับ
You are welcome here.
Chào mừng bạn đến đây.
You are welcome here.
Bottom of the fourth inning from Harry and David Field. You're watching the 2022 Class of 2022 third place game on TableRockSports.net. Braden Getch back on the mound for Washington Southwest. Dylan Schwartzmiller is at the plate, and he watches ball one. And he takes a strike. 1-2. In the dirt to even the count. Hard hit line drive into right field for a single. Up now, Eric Dotzauer, and he watches the first pitch go by, ball one. Foul out of play, strike one. Misses for ball 2. Dotzauer ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on first, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runner takes off, the pitch is fouled back. The 3-2 to Dotzauer. Runner takes off again, and it's fouled back again. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. One away, and up comes Gage Bruce. Inside, ball 1. Fouled off and out of play. That'll get down in between right and center field. Scooped up by Isaiah McFall. 1-out double. Off the bat of Gage Bruce has put runners in scoring position for Washington Northwest. Maxwell Patterson is at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Gretsch comes home, lifted high in the air to left field. Keaton Fisher waits under it, and he squeezes the glove. They will hold the runner. 2 outs now in the 4th. Caden Wotipka will step in. And he takes a breaking ball in the outside corner for strike one. Half-hearted swing, strike two. Hard hit into left center field. Tracking it is McFall. He's in the power alley and he'll make the grab to retire the side. Washington Northwest threatens but leave two aboard without scoring a run. To the fifth we go, 1-0 Northwest. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net.
A parent, dad in the stands yelling at his kid, trying to coach him from the bleachers, and the embarrassment on the kid's face. It looked like he was about to cry while playing the game.
I think it's very embarrassing for a student athlete to see their parents being escorted out of the gym or off the playing field.
I'd be surprised if that kid comes back to the game.
And you risk a child enjoying the game, that you rob them of the fun. You have made a bad choice.
The days grow long, and the last school bell rings, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to that fabled land of green, where adventure drifts with you on the water and carries you through the trees. So let curiosity get the best of you and take the trail less traveled to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field. You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net. Jack Fenton back on the mound for Baseball Northwest to get the top of the fifth inning underway. Joe Schutz, Joe Wessenfels, and Isaiah McFall, the three due up for Washington Southwest. Some defensive changes for Washington Northwest as Schutz takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Dylan Schwartzmiller is now at third, and he'll make a diving attempt at the ball and knocks it down. They'll say foul ball. So a good attempt by Schwartzmiller over there in the hot corner, but just a foul ball. The count is 1-2. Carson Burke is back at first base. That's up and in for ball 3. Gage Bruce moves from center to right field as that's outside ball 4. And Maxwell Patterson is now in center. Maxwell Patterson now in center field for Washington Northwest. Bunt laid down by Weissenfels. Charging is Schwartzmiller, no play. A bunt single for Weissenfels, and Washington Southwest once again have the tying run in scoring position, the lead run aboard. Up comes Isaiah McFall. Rounding out the changes for Washington Northwest in the field, Tyler Hogan is now at second base. Bunt laid down again, this time by McFall, and nobody covers it. Back-to-back bunt singles for Washington Southwest. They have loaded the bases here in the top of the 5th inning with nobody out. Kyle Mamarian will step in. We'll see if head coach Dan Spencer puts on the suicide squeeze here. Mamarian looks like he's going to swing the bat. Takes low and outside, ball 1. A flare down the right field line. It's going to drop in fair territory. Station to station go the runners. We are tied 1-1 in the top of the 5th. Three straight bunts laid down by Washington Southwest, and then a bloop single down the right field line by Kyle Mamarian. Vicente Feliciano now in the box. Fenton kicks and fires. To left field. Coming over is Bryce Johnson. He will make the grab. Tagging and coming home. And scoring is Joe Weisenfels. Sacrifice fly for Vicente Feliciano. Taking third is Isaiah McFall. Washington Southwest showing off the wheels in the top of the 5th inning. They take the lead 2-1. Kyle Mamarian remains at first base. Up now is Casey Struckmeyer. Struckmeyer takes strike 1. Pickoff throw to first. McFall is back. Or excuse me, Mamarian over there at first base is back. Another pickoff throw. Again, unsuccessful. The runner at first takes off. The pitch gets by the catcher. Going to third base is Mamarian, and he will get tagged out. That's the first out of the 5th. But another run comes home. Isaiah McFall scores on the wild pitch. Mamarian makes the first out at third base. It's 3-1 Washington Southwest. 1 ball and 1 strike on Casey Struckmeyer. And a foul ball. 1-2 the count. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low and away, ball 3. Now the umpires are having a conversation. The umpire said that the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. And now it's 3-2. to the third baseman Schwartzmiller. Across the diamond, wide throw. A slide by the runner Casey Struckmeyer, but he's tagged out by the first baseman Carson Burke. Washington Southwest takes the lead in the top of the fifth inning. 3 consecutive bunt singles to lead off the fifth. A bloop single and a wild pitch. Bring 3 home. We head to the home half of the fifth. You're watching the Class of 2022 third place game on TableRockSports.net.
Seen a new way to achieve the highest level of savings. Peak Rewards. The Peak Rewards app is your roadmap to savings wherever your journey takes you. Simply by using our mobile app, you can shop for a mountain of savings in any of our convenience stores and fuel up for less. Just download the Peak Rewards app, register, find participating stations and stores near you, and start saving. With Peak Rewards, you can travel further for less. So what are you waiting for? Download Peak Rewards today and find a location near you.
You're watching the 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net. Washington Southwest took the lead in the top half of the fifth inning. A new pitcher on the mound for the light blue team. On in relief is Tyler Schuleman. Schulman, 6 foot, 170 pounds, from Wenatchee. Tyler Hogan will lead it off for Washington Northwest in the home half of the fifth. Schulman delivers a ball, and that is crushed deep to left and or right, and foul. The 0-1 from Schulman, ripped foul again down the first baseline. The 0-2 to Hogan. Foul tipped. Outside, ball 1. Two and 2 to Tyler Hogan. Popped up in the infield, left side. Mamarian waits for it, and he has it for out number 1. Up now is Chris Woodside. Woodside takes low and away. And Schulman quickly behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Cut on and missed. 2-1. A 3-1 pitch coming to Chris Woodside. Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The payoff. Cut on and missed, strike 3. Two out, nobody on for Bryce Johnson. Breaking ball finds the zone for strike 1. Fouled off and out of play. Strike 2. To left field. Keaton Fisher waits for it. And that will retire the side. Tyler Schulman sits down Washington Northwest 1-2-3. To the 6th we go. 3-1 Washington Southwest on top. You're watching the Class of 2022 third place game live on TableRockSports.net in partnership with Baseball Northwest.
Cellular believes everyone deserves 5G. That's why we've included 5G on all plans, no extra charge, whether you're working or playing. All U.S. Cellular plans include 5G, no extra charge. Get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular.
Get the latest 5G phones for free today at Siskiyou Cellular, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular with 7 Valley locations. Visit SOUScellular.com for details.
The 2021 Northwest Championships on TableRockSports.net are brought to you by Lithia Auto Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Top of the 6th inning, Washington Southwest with a 3-1 advantage. Southwest put up 3 in the 5th, courtesy of 3 consecutive bunt singles. And then a bloop base hit down the right field line. And a wild pitch would also help bring a run across as well. Washington Northwest scratched their lone run across back in the 2nd inning. Keaton Fisher, Carson Hayes, and Josh Baldwin, the three due up for Southwest. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count on Fisher. That's high, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued to Fisher. Up comes Carson Hayes. Fenton ahead on a first pitch strike. Reach for, poke down the right field line. Fair ball. A stand-up double for Carson Hayes. To third base goes Keaton Fisher. 2 more in scoring position for Washington Southwest. Nobody out for Josh Baldwin. One ball and 1 strike to Baldwin. Ground ball foul down the first base line. 1-2. That is behind the batter. Coming in to score is Fisher. 4-1, Washington Southwest. The 1-2 fouled back by Baldwin. Outside. Two balls and 2 strikes. Another 2-2, and it hits Baldwin in the head. Parker Gwynn will come out to talk with his battery. We'll be back after this on TableRockSports.net.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play. But not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1. Washington Southwest on top, looking for more. New pitcher on the mound for Washington Northwest. That is Bryce Johnson. First pitch to Joe Schutz, misses outside, ball 1. Bryce Johnson, 6'2", 190 pounds, from Meridian. And he misses up and in, ball 2. That is Seth Miner at the plate. Joe Schutz waits on deck. So Seth Miner is at home plate. Carson Hayes at third. Josh Baldwin, being courtesy run for by Casey Struckmeyer, is at first. 2-1 the count. To right field. Gage Bruce waits for it. It should be deep enough. And it is. Carson Hayes comes home to score. Up now is Joe Schutz. The back pick on a pitch outside. Struckmeyer back in safely. In the 5th inning, Schutz led off for Washington Southwest with a bunt single, followed by Joe Weisenfels, who bunt singled, followed by Isaiah McFall, who bunt singled. And then Kyle Mamarian stepped up and looped a base hit down the first base line to get Washington Southwest their first runs of the game. As 1-1 is fouled back for strike 2. Southwest would put up 3 more in the frame and have put up 2 more here in the 6th. Runner on first for Schutz. Pitch home. Strike 3, swung on and missed. Joe Weisenfels is up now. High and away, ball 1. Hard hit. Stopped by the left side of the infield, but Weisenfels aboard. Ball off the glove of the third baseman, Dylan Schwartz-Miller. Weisenfels aboard on the air, and up comes Isaiah McFall. First pitch to McFall misses. 1-0 the count. That's high, ball 2. Johnson behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes to Isaiah McFall. A healthy cut by McFall. He comes up empty. That is ball 4. The bases are loaded for Kyle Mamarian. First pitch swinging Mamarian. Lines went into center field for a base hit. They're going to send Weisenfels. He will score. The throw came home. A nifty jump by McFall, but he's called out by the field umpire to retire the side. 2 runs come home on the base hit by Mamarian, and then McFall makes the third out at third base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 7-1. Washington Southwest on top. Back with more at Harry and David Field after this on TableRockSports.net.
You're a coach or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine not so far away that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Home half of the 6th inning from Harry and David Field. You're watching the Class of 2022 third place game live on TableRockSports.net. Tyler Schulman back on the mound for Washington Southwest. His offense extending the lead. It's now 7-1. A swing and a miss by Jack Fenton for Washington Northwest. Outside. Ball 1. Infield pop-up. The third baseman, Mamarian, is there for out number 1. Up now, Jonah Shull. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike one. And a fastball, waved at, strike two. Foul tipped. Shull will stay alive. The 0-2. Fastball. Misses in. Or away, I should say. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Breaking ball. That catches the zone. Strike 3 called. Two out, nobody on for Carson Burke. One ball and 1 strike the count. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. Two and 2. To Carson Burke. And that will run the count full. Pop foul and out of play. Schulman kicks and fires. Outside, ball 4. The inning continues, and up comes Carson Burns. The runner takes off. The throw from home plate sails wide. A stolen base for Carson Burke. A quick equipment change. For the catcher, Josh Baldwin. Hard hit. It gets down for a single into left center. Coming around to score is Carson Burke. RBI single for Carson Burns. The score now is 7-2. Down the line, foul off the third base side. And Schulman quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by Baldwin. The runner holds. Line drive flare that gets down into center field. The inning continues, and up comes Eric Dotzauer. Schulman pumps a fastball in there, strike one. And is quickly ahead, 0-2. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, strike three. Washington Northwest gets one across, but leave two stranded. To the seventh we go, 7-2 Southwest. You're watching the class of 2022 third place game, and correction, that is it. That's final. So your third place team officially is Washington Southwest with a 7-2 victory over Washington Northwest. Our executive producer at Table Rock Sports is Joe Brett. From all of us at Table Rock Sports, I'm Jonathan Kerman saying so long from Harry and David Field. Thanks for tuning in. We've got one more game for you on tap before the 2021 Northwest Championships concludes, and that is the 7th place game coming up in about half an hour. We'll see you then on Table Rock Sports.